he was this stereotypical guy that was just like, okay, like this guy's gonna be successful. Right? This guy was just like, this guy was a hard worker. You know these stories that they tell about Kobe Bryant, right? Like how Kobe like 4 a.m. he's up, and all these guys like, yo, like I woke up early for breakfast. So I wanted to be the first in the dining hall, the first one on the team, and Kobe Bryant was already there, sweating, soaked, eating. That means he had already worked. It's like that's how Tomiwa was. He's the kind of nigga that you wake up at 4 a.m. and this guy is still studying. Bro, I'm telling you, like. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mommies and daddies, welcome back to another episode of the Afro Journal podcast, where we aim to bridge the gap between the African continent and the diaspora through open dialogues, shared experiences, and good vibes. Today we are bringing another
banger.
You already know what time it is. It's your vintage chocolates. It's your toasted caramel. It's your green flag, Chisom, AJ Keme, Jeremiah Okafor.
And it's your extra luggage. Your chef Pirero. Pira Ekitrikie Chimuzo Aliogo Jr. So you're laughing? Extra luggage, man. The one that you have to pay for. That's that $50 fine. That's what I am.
That's what you are. Yo, if you are watching on YouTube, you already see we have a nice Ninja boy here, and if you're listening on audio, you just listen. We have a special guest here with us. Please state your name, fam.
And it's your boy, Tomiwa, aka don't let us use Tommy Kid.
Tommy Kid,
aka Chocolate Daddy, aka nah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I see you, man. I said that Tommy Kid chocolate yacht. That Tommy Kid name, that thing just took me all the way back to just 1, just 3. Like that was his nickname back in secondary school. But we'll get into that. We'll get into all that in this episode. But guys, today we have a special episode. Unfortunately, our Glazed Donuts wasn't able to join us today due to some technical difficulties. But it is what it is.
Hopefully, she can make it before the podcast ends.
Yeah, if you can make it, she'll hop on. But if not, we'll rock like that, But we're gonna be talking to my guy today about like this man. As I see him like this, Nigerians. First of all, if you go back to episode 7, we're always doing big things all over the world. It's not a new thing. You guys are already used to it. But I'm bringing another Ninja boy here, to just talk about those experiences. Like good,
basically a Nigerian episode.
Stories. Yeah, exactly.
Another one.
Maybe that's what, yeah. So we're gonna be obviously having a discussion with my guy. Let me say, like, we go way back, way back from secondary school. So we're gonna start from there and then come back to how we came to America, all our experiences, every single thing. But before we do it, tell me you want to give like a little like brief overview about who you are, what you do, things like that.
Give them your credentials.
Your
resume.
Daddy.
There's no doctor in front of my name, but Mr. Tomiwa, middle name M. Akinrotimi. Where should I start from, guy? Should I start from like 2 years old or 5 years old, or
just like a brief overview, like what you do.
Where are you
from? Things like that. Just the basics.
What's your age?
Okay, well, my name is Tomiwa. You can call me Tommy, and I'm currently in Chicago, Illinois. And what do I do? I'm an engineer, overall engineer anything, structural engineer, civil engineer, cloud engineer,
everything
in it. So anything problem solving, anything. If you need your life has problems, I'll say come to me, but bring money. I want to start making.
Tomiwa got you. He got you.
I'll come as long as you have money.
If you don't have money, we can still help you, but on credit after you make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. True Nigerian man.
Oh man, but yeah.
I just I like going to the gym. I like playing soccer.
Ninja boy, this guy was like a goalkeeper extraordinaire back in his days. You know what I'm saying? This guy was such a good goalie. But we'll get into all that. All right. So now that you've seen like a brief overview, like I wanted to take it back, like a little step back
Way
to
back.
when me and Tomiwa met, like our earliest memories, things like
This
that,
is
where we
Chisom's
were.
guy. This is
This is
Chisom's
my guy, you know what I'm saying? Like just kind of like first impressions, things like that, and how like I want to just talk about secondary school, right? That whole banter, because I think we're here to bridge the gap between the African continent and the diaspora. You're in a unique position where you went to secondary school in Nigeria and you also went secondary school in America, right? And like you experienced both of them full dose, almost very similar to Peter, right? So we're going to talk about obviously your experiences in both. Share some good laughs, some good stories. Talk about those Tommy Kid era, and then then we'll talk about like our American times too, and then talk about like obviously career, what we've done, what we're doing now, and obviously like philosophies with things. So let's take it back to secondary school. Tomoa, how do you describe yourself in secondary school? Like what kind of guy were you in boarding school, at least like just 1, 2, 3? At least for our American listeners, that's grade 7, 8, and 9.
Lagos, Nigeria. Or was it Lagos?
That was Ogun State.
Ogun State.
Oh, father, man.
it's-
You know father rice? You know father rice?
Of course I know Father Rice. Come on.
We went to the town.
Uh-huh.
That's where our school was.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
next one
Yeah.
next was but
This guy was a lucky boy.
and I was not a lucky boy. Me, I wasn't from Ireland now. Peter was like, oh, he
So
doesn't.
that was it. I'm saying it was Peter that was a lucky boy.
Now we're from the mainland, but and now for that Father Ogun State was a long time ago. Like looking back, I was like trying to reminisce the age. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, we were 11, 12, and 13, and they just like throw us in the middle of nowhere, and it was
In the bush.
back. It's like that. I don't think I'll let my kids go away. It's
Really?
that with the way we were getting the treatment, like
Yeah.
what they sell you versus what you experience is different. Like
Yo, can we actually talk about that? Like when I was applying to boarding school, secondary school, like you get I don't know what, like the
pamphlet?
brochure of the school, the
Yeah.
pamphlet. You see the school plan, everything. I don't know if it's Photoshop, whatever it is, but they make the school look so nice.
Bro, it's
You're like,
Photoshop.
wow, like
I'm telling you, it's Photoshop.
you're like,
They did that for my school. We had sand pitch, right? But in the pamphlet, it was grass.
yeah, they sold us beans, man.
bro, like they said, "Coin, we'll give you jollof." When we got there, they gave us. I don't know what they say. They gave us beans. Like, what the heck?
Like every 2 times a month, every Sunday. So
Right.
if you calculate it, like 4 times your mouth will touch jollof in that school for like one full
Bruh,
year. Nah,
like they even said there was swimming pool in Trinity, right?
yeah,
In the brochure, they said we didn't have any swimming pool in that school. Though. Like in the brochure, we saw swimming pool every time. I was like, which guy like what they selling us here?
the wind us, man.
They really did. But that was what I'm saying. But like, what about? But sorry, continue what you were saying. You were saying that at that age, they throw us in. Like, you don't think you're gonna do that to your kids?
Yeah, like looking back, like I can allow them to go to boarding school. Like I would actually want them to get the experience of boarding school, but not the whole discipline. Because the way they did
Yeah.
the discipline is different. Discipline is different from discipline, guy. Like you don't have to discipline a kid like that for someone to turn out still okay, but discipline is different. Like I was thinking about it. It was like the teachers were having a competition on they were having a tally mark. Like I flogged 1 kid today. I flogged 3 today. I win today.
It becomes
They're doing
sports.
competition with themselves.
It becomes
Oh yeah, here's 100 naira for you. Like 100 naira for you. Go.
Who's
Like
going to win the gold medal?
nah, for real, man.
That's wild. So your school was like that. Your secondary school, that's where you and Chisom met. It was
mean,
like
the
that.
school
That was
was-
kind of environment.
Yeah, I mean, it was something else, but at the end of the day, like, it was still one of the best moments
School.
of my life, like, which is weird. Like it was like I was having a miserable time, but I was still like having the best time of my life at the
This
same
time of your
time.
life, like looking
Yeah.
back now.
When you look back, the nostalgia, the memories you shared, like, because one thing about boarding school is, I don't know if you can relate to this, but the kind of relationship that you build with the people there is different.
100%.
Like
Yeah.
you feel like these are friends for life in a sense, like the people that you actually become friends with, right?
And you be seeing the wildest shit too that you've never
Bro.
seen before.
Because you're literally growing up together. You're going through
Mhm.
puberty together. You're literally like, it's almost like these are siblings. Because you even live with them more than you stay with your family.
Mhm,
Once from
mhm.
Chisom,
Nah,
'cause
for
you're there.
real.
9 months of the year, yeah, in school. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, literally the hostel doing all these things with all their rules and everything. So you're just like going through the struggle with these people. So me personally, I think like the bonds you share with these guys, like even though like, obviously we ended up growing up and then like going to different parts of the world, this
Yeah.
and that, but like at the end of the day, like you know that okay, you have homies that are all over the place just because you went to school with like so many people.
So
You
many
know,
people.
you
And
grew up with so many people, and
looking
you
back, it's not like we were so much free spirited. We didn't even like look back like, oh, this guy would grow up to become, something good. We're just like
oh
having fun and just trying
right.
to survive the next class. Like we're taking like 15 classes and nobody even had time to. Oh, I am about to. I want to become a pilot. I want to become a. I'm trying to survive and make sure they don't flog me.
Facts, facts. And that is like to me, boarding school. The way I see boarding school was just a constant cycle of okay classes and then sports, which is football, right? Like we're just trying to see when they will allow us to go and play football. Because of that, if you pray that rain doesn't fall, or
Break.
like,
You forgot lunch break.
yeah, and then I was going to say food as well. You know,
Yeah.
like
I know,
like
man.
the food, bro.
That GS1, I would be like, how did I meet Chisom? I think Chisom was in we had like a class, we had the class where you meet, we had the dining table, we had where else, and
The
then
hostel.
the hostel, and then you see people trying to run. I think GS1, people used to run or walk very fast.
Yeah.
To,
We used to Naruto run that shit.
you know,
Bro,
Oh!
Chisom was running, and I'm like, see this boy running, let me to join him. Like, I'm trying to run, like, no shame.
No
But
shit.
once you start getting to GS2,
Wait, exactly. You stop running.
Like,
Say, I'm
you
doing
stop
for that
running. You
shit.
start doing big boy. Yeah.
I saw you see all these guys running, but like looking back now, if you look back now, you probably see someone looking forward. Let's say forward, someone will become like minister or senator. And looking back, you're like, isn't that the guy that used to run for food in secondary?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Like, cause secondary school is a very interesting dynamic. I think high school in general, like wherever you are, it's always different cultures. But I know for Trinity, it was more of a case of I know me, I didn't really want to be a boarding school. I wanted to go home all the time, I was just like, bro. But some other people were excited to be there, like so I was one of the,
Like, I'd rather be.
Yo, let me just say, do you remember like the sport competitions that we used to have? Like, who brought the most snacks? Who brought this? Who brought that?
that's only on visiting day because for us they didn't allow us to bring provisions.
Oh, you guys didn't have
I tell you,
provision.
they search. They like it was like the house mothers were more of a correctional officer, and the house father was more of a correction. Before you step in, there's a lobby. Before you go in, like I don't know how they pat you down, but you can't be carrying anything. If they see you moving funny, like they'll say, "Hey, like come
Bruh.
here," and they know it's like there's something like it.
I mean, it's experience. They've done this for years, and then those guys they have better security than those security at the clubs. Club you're walking in, you can carry anything and get it. I don't know, they'll touch your belt, touch your trouser. I'm just like, this guys are not even searching.
Don't touch your hoodie, but
Don't
like
touch your hoodie. I'm like, bro, like if I want to bring
hoodie, the boxer finish. Like, damn, no shame.
like no in that hostel, you open the funny. You know what weird thing is? Like Peter, did they do this in your school? Like when you guys are coming in, you open your box
Yes, everyone did
for
that.
them to like look
Everyone
through
did
the whole
that.
thing, and then they'll go through a whole list of okay, did you bring
Yeah,
three
yeah.
pants?
Yeah.
Did you bring
Oh,
three
three
boxers?
pants?
Like I'm just like, bro.
No, not
They're
that.
monitoring
I
you
mean,
to the T.
yo, that's wild. Like 3 parts and everything like that. What
Yeah.
we used to do is just make sure you didn't bring anything illegal, like
Okay.
PSP, PlayStation games,
Uh,
all this kind
yeah.
of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or like all those nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything that was banned, they just made sure that you didn't bring that stuff, and that was the whole process. I mean, it was fun. I remember like my first time entering boarding school, they bring all the year sevens, all the new ones into into the lobby, like you said, and we all have to stand up and introduce ourselves. And you now see the older guys, and those older guys demonic. Say, who's my next prey? Who is the one I'm going to bully out of these young boys?
Yo, and the other guys will be trying to get like things from you too, like that's why, like so it's kind of like they're like, okay, well, I'll get this guy, this guy will be the guy that'll be fetching water for me, things like that, this guy will be ironing my clothes.
For
Wait,
real.
what'd you say,
I said you iron the uniform. What you said?
bro?
Or come pack
Yo.
my plates.
Bro, secondary school that thing was different, right? But like I know for me, when I went in, I was very like anxious and everything. But the funny thing is, the first night I got there,
Yeah.
It's like you get anxious, but then you also adapt very quickly, right? Like
The
you just kind
first
of
your
like
first time sleeping in a whole foreign place, you're just
my
like,
first night sleeping there, I got flogged.
ooh,
That's the funny. I got flogged literally. Like I remember this guy, Mr. Nobs. You remember him now, Mr. Nobowale? That
uh,
guy, because obviously you get there, you're all excited, you're meeting your guys in the room,
shouting
you're talking,
loud.
talking.
Yeah,
They're like, "Oh, lights out." You remember, lights out was at
that
10
was the
p.m.
loudest
yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
people,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
you,
yeah.
you could you could tell like yes, we didn't know how to behave because we were like, this is party time.
right.
Now that was the best. Looking back, that like Wednesday to like Friday was the
That
best.
orientation time, yo. That was the best time, right? Lights out, everybody just talking, chatting. They're like, who punish it? Who's listening to all that one? So at the end of the day, they now called us, bam. Called us out, lined us up, flogged the shit out of me. I was just like,
Really, first day
uh,
like that,
first day, bro.
set the
Like the
precedent.
guy gave me like 4 strokes, Mr. Nobs. I was like, okay, this I guess it's setting the tone for secondary school. But in general though, like I would say like overall in boarding school, at least in secondary school, I was a good boy in a sense.
Mhm.
You know, I was
Yeah,
always
Chisom,
that good guy
That's
that
Chisom
talked.
was a
actually
good.
what I was
Chisom was
going
a
to
good boy.
ask. What I was
Yeah.
going to ask is like, Tomiwa, how was Chisom and Chisom? How was Tomiwa?
Yeah.
Like I was going to ask that. Like, what was your reactions to each other?
Yeah.
Like, how was the person in secondary school?
Yeah.
Because
I'll
always
You
you
want to
guys
go
have
first?
changed. You guys have changed
Yeah.
since then. So
Yeah.
how are you guys?
I'll tell you.
Uh,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Let me go first. Let me go first.
okay,
Oh,
go first.
let me get the good part out before. Chisom, what room were you in GS1? I
I was
don't
in
think.
room 3.
Yeah, I don't think we stayed in a room together.
No, no, no. I think we're in the same class, just 1B.
GS1B, then
Just
like
1B, yeah. We're in the same class.
GS1B, and then GS2 Diamond. I think GS3, GS2 or GS3
No,
Diamond.
just 2 was in Emerald. I know
Yeah,
you were in Diamond because the one like okay,
is
the way it was
the
the way they
GS3,
did is like
GS3 were
Diamond
in
is like the
Diamond.
smartest guys in the
Yes.
set, right? Emerald is like the second smartest, Garnet is like the third. So pretty much they rank you by your grades, right? And then gold
Wow.
is the worst, right? Right. So me, I was in the second smartest class in JS2. While Tom was in the smartest like diamond. So like so that's how you know the kind of guy that he was, right? But so continue, sir.
But GS3, Chisom was in my class, and like looking back at GS2, Emerald was the funny class. Like
Yeah, Emerald was
GS2 was that GS2 class was serious. Like the Diamond class was the first time they introduced it in our
yeah.
yeah. But like GS3 was like now Emerald in GS2 was funny and everybody used to laugh and kiki and
Yeah.
GS3 I'm like nah Chisom was in my class, Benga was in the class and all those guys
Yeah.
in the class and it was like now we had like a whole soccer team too because in GS2 we suffered small. You had Shay Toju, you had like all those guys, but in GS3 we were stacked. But looking back at like Chisom in GS3, that class was like on fire, man. Like look, and then you just Chisom was I was always in front of the class because teachers thought I was stubborn. I don't know why. I never sat because I was short. I never sat like in the middle of the class. I never sat in front. It was like me, Tony, then you had Ara. Everybody
Yeah. Yeah.
two desks behind Ara. So I do remember like all those like the placements, but like and Chisom was not there again. Oh my, that class
I was
was.
always in the middle of the class. That's what I was. That was like my spot right there.
I had Angel, Magic could do me on the end of the
Mm-hmm.
class at the end, but and then yeah, Chisom. Then we did that intercessor together with
Yeah.
Chaplain Ajayi. That was chill. Like looking back, that was a good establishment of spiritual. Let's say spiritual. That
Yeah.
was good. And I think you're on one of my dining table. I'm like GS1, GS2, GS3. I can't remember one, but we used to.
Like honestly, the memory kind of like morphs into one in a sense, right? Like you just kind of like morphs into one. But nah, I feel you, bro.
Chisom was a good guy. He didn't get flogged as much as me. In night prep, like if they are flogging everybody, like just don't flog Chisom. Because I think he was quiet, assistant class captain. I can't remember, but it's not.
Yeah.
Chisom was good. Like I thought was the guy could ball. The guy could ball. Then GS3, I was like, man, we have Chisom on the team. Forget. Like
What can I say? What can I say?
So Chisom, you're busting your brain like that.
yeah, like anything like that. You have people like good in other classes too, but in our class we had me, Laulu, and then we also had one guy in our class. I think it was Utuera, but he didn't play ball. He was just a quiet kid.
Otero was just the quiet guy, like he was the quiet guy that was like always had all these funny moments.
Nah,
Like
the guy was
funny.
funny.
Yeah, like funny puns. You know, these guys are just quiet, but then like they just drop like this weird funny joke. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, you're just like, bro, what?
He could have went on to become a stand-up comedian, in my own opinion.
Honestly, I agree with that.
Yeah, but like all I can say is going to school, doing classes, the memories were fun, and studying together was fun because we had to like we did do some night preps together,
Mhm.
basically trying to beat all these people, and studying in the common room together. That's when like if you ask me like where I see my like what do I remember about secondary school, like
Yeah.
studying late nights. I don't even know why. If somebody had told me like, guy, you don't have to try that much, and you still come to America and like you start afresh again. Like I would have had more fun and be more entwined like with my guys.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm actually close with most of them, all of them. That's why
Yeah.
like the school is like that's where you meet all your lifelong friends and everything. So it's like it's a big vibe, man. And
Hmm.
Honestly,
Nah, man.
I would say that's something that you guys did that Chisom and like you guys that friend group did successfully. Like me with all my friends from secondary school, we were all around the world and we were all like expressing different things and we didn't have a group chat. We didn't talk that much. So like
yeah,
it's only very few of them that I could say that are like currently my friends I'm close to. I feel like I can reach out to any of them, but
yeah.
it's like oh long time no see kind of thing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's quite good that you guys are kind of still in contact with each other.
I mean, that's the thing about it though, because like it's not like we see each other very often though, that right? But it's
Mhm.
just more like you know that these guys are your guys. You follow them on social media, and then we kind of like link up every now and then. So if we're in Nigeria, and you know that this guy's in Nigeria, like oh yo, let's link. You know, like or like if you're in Puerto Rico, I know that this guy's in Puerto Rico. You're like yo, we're in the same place. Let's link up. You get what I'm saying? And then that's just how you keep the relationship. I know one thing that really helped us was Nesby, because pretty much every Nesby conference we saw
Mhm.
each other,
I
right?
just
Because
saw
pretty
this
much
guy. I saw this tall ass guy like Chisom with his hair. Like, I'm like, that's definitely Chisom. Like I can't like nobody looks like Chisom in this world. I'm like, and the guy has this kind of walk one step at a time.
Bow
Uh,
legged.
I want like, nah, it's not one leg. He has a slow chill walk, and I'm like, that's him. And you have to go through all the crowds in Nesby to get
yeah,
to. Now I'm like, and then you see, I saw Ifwe too, and then I saw
yeah.
there was one Nesby where I saw all my guys, and that was like the best.
That was the best. I remember that one. I think.
My God, I networked.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? But then, like, so, like, even going back to secondary school, like, Tomo was talking about, like, describing, like, Tomo was the kind of guy that, yo, like, he was this stereotypical guy that was just like, okay, like, this guy's gonna be successful because we associate, like, being book smart and, like,
Yeah, I
working
mean,
hard
all
to success.
Africans
So, you
associate
know what I'm
book
saying?
smart to
That's just what it was.
success.
And Tomo was the typical embodiment of that thing, right? This guy was just like, this guy was a hard worker. You know, these stories that they tell about Kobe Bryant, right? Like,
That,
how Kobe
uh,
like 4 a.m. he's up, and all these guys like yo, like I woke up early for breakfast. So I wanted to be the first in the dining hall, the first one on the team. I
can't say
got
that.
there, and Kobe Bryant was already there, sweating, soaked, eating. That means
Mhm.
he had already worked. It's like that's how Tomiwa was. He's the kind of nigga that you wake up at 4 a.m. and this guy is still studying.
Yeah,
It,
relax.
bro. I'm telling you, like that's how it felt. I was just like, bro, like and me too. I was one of those guys that tried to work hard too. 'Cause I was like, yo, I'm
Yeah,
trying to be successful in
yeah.
school, this and
And
that.
when you
Like
see
we took
someone like that, it motivates you.
I took it very seriously, but then
Mhm.
Tomo just took it to the next level. And this guy motivated me like mad, right? And like obviously when he gets the results and everything, I'm like, okay, like
But
it makes sense.
Loki is like when you see each other's results and you get the same score, you're like looking at, yeah.
No, when they used to distribute those tests back,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and what was it like? I remember one time going went to go and collect the test scores. Like,
Oh
nah,
yeah.
that was like those were memories then, because the teacher would grade, and if you were a teacher's pet then for whatever subject you were,
Oh god.
you would have gone and collect the test. So if it was art, you already know who was involved in arts. Like if it was agri, you already know who was
You
involved.
already know. Yeah, you know the guys.
You had the people coming in, and then you literally see everybody, and even like top class, like you see everybody's score, you see 64, 65, 63, 64, 60.
It is
I'm
over
like,
70 by the
damn,
way.
it
Yeah.
over 70. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Nobody like it's like the gap was so slim, and it was
It was
like
so small.
the competition was nice, but like looking
Yeah.
back, that was too much competition on an 11-year-old, on a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
That
I
was
mean, but that's the thing I think that made our sets very unique, right? Because
Mhm.
in a sense, like we were very social one. But
Mm-hmm.
then two, like we liked our sports, we like our athletics, we had the dancer guys, we had the football guys, we had everything. But
For real.
everyone kind of like still came together to share have a good time. But then we were just so serious with our academics as well. It was almost like a competition amongst the whole set. Everyone just like, nah man, we have to like
Best in mathematics, you know,
best
final
in this,
day
best in that.
when
Yeah.
they're doing awards. Best in mathematics, you want to be the person that at least have 2 or 1. At least you want to go on the stage.
You want to go
You
on
know,
the
in
stage.
front of
That's
the whole
it.
school, so like,
I'll tell you something. My GS1 year, like what was GS1? Nobody won best in except Mark Blessing.
Oh yeah.
And Blessing won best in everything.
There was this one girl in our school, very tiny girl, very small girl. This girl won best in everything.
yeah, GS1.
It's like, bro, what the heck?
Yeah, so what
Like-
You guys were like, never again.
No, but she was smart though. I love that. Like she was such a vibe. She was very smart.
Naturally, like that was the first time. You know, I had read about Ben Carson, and that was the first time I saw someone like literally. I don't think I saw like study
hard.
like me. Like some people had to study. Like you had Asaba that didn't. His was 50-50. He would study, but he won't study that hard.
Study as much.
Asaba won't study as much.
Some of all those smart guys too, man. Like yeah.
And then you had other people like that, but Mark Blessing just she just kind of book look at it like this, then close, and then best team.
You're just like, bro.
Guy, I found God no blessed me. God look me now, but like then GS2. That's that. Then I felt like that was what like gingered me. Like I went. Obviously, you go for summer or you play, but back then it was like looking back to what I am now, I don't think I was rested then. I was like, oh, this GS2 that I'm going at least need to let me collect small best team. At least one best team. Best
team.
In
one thing, you know.
Let me say my name. Best in one thing. Because I was already banked on winning best in Yoruba GS1. Yeah. Then Benga came in. It was all over.
Benga Ishola, I show, man.
It was all over. Like I knew I was going. You know when you start like a game with like you're up 20 points, you're up 20 points, and at the end of the quarter you're done. You lost. Like how you were up 30 points? It's like
right. Yeah.
Like I said, GS2. I was like, man, this time going in, like let me just try. Let me just at least try small. And I think that's where like people started seeing me like, oh, studying late nights.
You tried, man. Like that was not just trying. That was like honestly, that was like to me for our level, that was like some Mamba level work ethic right there. Like
let's not try. It's like people were like, I do remember one thing. They said I was distracted. I distracted people.
Yes.
So I'll bring that up because you probably skipped Chisom's mind, but I wasn't more distracted. I was more free spirited. I'll be like, guy, why is everybody not playing? Because I felt like I was too social. I was too like, let's come and play ball. Let's come and do something now. And you literally set up chairs and to play ball in class. Any opportunity to play ball, you find it to play.
You find it to play. Yeah.
I mean, that was what I was in. But like at the end of once night prep was over, like 10 p.m. night devotion was over. Boom. That's when to study. One, and then I didn't know how I did it then. So like 5, you had to wake up at 5 a.m. And I felt like, and then I looked back. That's where you catch the remaining Z's in class. That's where you see Ara. That's where you see me. That's where bro, that was where we caught the remaining. The work was put in, and like at the end of GS2, it was like I won like 3 awards, and that was the first time I was like, okay, if you work small, if you put in small work, you don't have to work too much, my guy. Small percent work, you do anything possible.
Yeah, think about it. Most people are not trying to work so hard, So if you work it, like obviously, like if you're trying to be the best of the best of the best, right? Like Tomiwa was like he's trying to be best in the whole sets. Me, I never won any award or best of anything. The whole set.
You never won one?
I never won one. Wow. Like I think I was close to winning basic science in GS2. That was the one I was really aiming for. Then Mark Blessing took that shit from me.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you my own story. I remember year 7, I didn't win any awards, and it was basically all the girls. All the girls were winning the awards. Year 8. I didn't. I think I came.
Wait, how many people were in your sets?
I don't know. It was like probably like during that time it was probably more than 60 or 70.
60. Yeah, because in our sets were like 120.
Yeah,
Wait, guys,
right. So being able to win that award, you have to beat 120 people.
So I was going to give an example of the whole
award
winning story. I said that year 7, we didn't win. I didn't win any awards. It was basically all the girls and maybe 1 or 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the thing, though, like in secondary school, girls were actually like more academically
because of girls
serious.
Girls were not as active as the way we were active.
But to be fair, though, I also feel like this might be controversial, but girls were also given a lot of partiality from teachers. Like I don't know if you remember, like sometimes
when they start crying,
back, go to the teacher's office and start crying and talking to the teacher, and some of the teachers will be upping their scores. I just be like, what the hell, bro?
Like me too. Why can't I cry and the teacher?
Like, you know. But obviously that's just by the way. But girls are generally more serious than boys academically.
Yeah, I think overall you were just like girls were more serious, regardless of teachers.
We had the smart guys, you know,
yeah.
but girls were generally more serious.
Well, I remember I was like, my first 2 years I didn't get an award. I mean, year 8 it was when my dad took me out of boarding school and flogged the shit out of me. I wasn't doing well in school.
Like, this guy was
my dad was like,
I
was doing well in school. My dad would say like first year I was like, okay, it's just his first year. He was like, second year, no chance. You're still playing around, boy, in boarding school. He took me out of boarding school. I became a day student, right? Yeah. So he could watch me. So every time I get back from school, my dad would buy me stacks of mathematics textbooks, right, to practice 20 questions on top of my school homework.
Damn.
So yes, that's and over the summer, that's when we do that kind of stuff, right? So I used to do 20 mathematics questions a day, right, and show him. I mean, I wasn't going to show him every day. But when he asks for it, he expects you to show me the dates. Let's count the dates. I see the 20 questions, right? That was my dad. Oh, and year 9. Because when you have such a father like that, such a big figure in your life, you feel kind of like pressed to show that you can at least do something, right? I remember like when I first got my best in mathematics, year 9. I mean, I got like 1 or 2, I think 1 in chemistry. I was always getting best in mathematics between maths, chemistry, and physics. Those are the 3 subjects I could collect. Anything else, you can forget about it. Forget about it. Right? But it was such a good feeling of like like seeing myself go up, get my award, and show it to my dad. Even though I was still getting like C in French. Yeah. But at least I was the best in something.
Yeah.
You know, so that was kind of my own experience with the award thing. And you know, it kind of motivates you to keep on going. Yeah. And competing.
And I think that's what you build. That's what I think that friend, let me say friendly, like it can look a bit toxic, right? And that's why Tomiwa was like saying like, yo, like if someone could have told him that, like, I mean, I can chill a little bit and like still enjoy my life, but I'll still be successful in life.
In the long run, it doesn't really mean anything. The best thing you want to get out of that is the work ethic.
It's just the work ethic that you get out of it, really. There's nothing else. I mean, obviously, okay, let's not diminish it though. Like your GPA and all these things still helps you get into college, right?
It's important,
like scholarships and things like that. But overall in life, like people that were feeling in secondary school are making big money in our sets today. You know what I'm saying? Like these are guys that are doing big things. So like your grade in secondary school is not really going to matter much in the grand scheme of your life.
Thinking that you're smarter than someone does not predict the future.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So back then, and I was grateful. Like we were not like rooted. That was the difference between America and Nigeria. We didn't even look down on anyone.
Dumb kids. What we used to do, we used to try to help them. Because I knew like some of people in my set were like not doing well and they were my guys. You know what I mean? They were my guys. We're all friends. We're watching like everyone in the whole set. We're all guys. But like when he I was like, Chinedu, you want to go study with me? I can help you. Just one-on-one me and you, because I was kind of the math guy. Like anything math, go ask Peter, right?
Yeah.
So I used
definitely
to help.
Not English though.
Definitely not English.
Definitely
not English. Definitely. But I took GCSE English as the first language. I was able to pass the second language one. Because I was like, okay, because they used to make the joke that if you fail English as a second language, you're a dunce, you're a mumu, you're a goat. And my dad was like, you better not fail English as a second language. So I was like, I beg, let me graduate so I can pass this shit there, because I don't want to look like a mumu, you know. So. So But in terms of maths, I did art mathematics for crying out loud. I was quite confident in my ability in mathematics.
Yep.
So with my friends that were like not so good in mathematics, I used to have like tutor sessions with them and help them. And it wasn't like, oh, I think you're a failure or anything like that. It was like, oh, I want you to succeed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And that's the thing, like we I don't know Tomiwa, if you can speak on this, but like in school we didn't really have like the nerds and the geeks and
I'll tell you, I know
the
what
ballers and like we were everything. We all played football. We all tried to study. Obviously, like some were more like into studying than others. The music guys, obviously, like we had the like pretty much like everyone was almost the same. But obviously, like there was still a difference in like, okay, this guy has more money than this guy, or this guy has more rep. That's what you used to call it. Like, what you call rep? This guy has more rep. So rep is like your reputation. This guy has more rep than this guy. This guy has, I don't know, is better with the ladies than this guy.
it was based on
that ladies thing in secondary school took you.
Oh yeah.
What?
I mean, if you rating you, fam.
If you were trying to get, if you were trying to get a girlfriend, it's kind of wholesome, not like how we do now. But back then it was like, I like you, it's like you want to hold hands with the girl type of vibe.
Yeah.
With their old back hair, we're still trying to love up on them.
Oh, right, no makeup, no nothing, all back, just regular.
I'll still say this though, even without makeup, we have some fine babes in Nigeria.
You say even without that,
without
like
makeup,
like,
I'm just
and
like,
looking back now.
Beautiful.
Looking now, most of them then they've glowed up now. So you better shine your eyes now.
Let's show you like the one that you weren't facing before.
Oh, yo, that thing is very true. Some of the girls that I think were mid in secondary school, now they are.
Now you're like, yo.
Yeah,
what's up?
How you doing?
How you doing, man? How body?
Body day, you dey manage.
Nah, man, but that.
Huh?
Sorry, say something. Some more.
I was like in secondary school, there was no like with our guys, we were all out. That's why looking back, we tried. We didn't know how to help each other. We were just more of having fun. But in terms of studying, we were more of like you've got it. And if you wanted to study together, you had the people that like linked up together and studied.
I generally study with.
Nights, and then you go back to your hostel and you still study with your guys. But looking back, when it was time to play, I felt like books was not even in our head. Like
we all played together.
Because it's playtime.
We all played together.
Because playtime was very limited during boarding
yeah, for real.
Because our life is structured. Our like just like a day schedule. You wake up at 5 a.m. for morning devotion, right? You have to pray, praise, blah, blah, blah. After that,
gosh. Then
you have to
get to the line, walk to the dining hall.
I mean, if before you get to the dining hall, bro, you've already done but they put to work, bro. Like you have to go and hustle to go and bath. So you're trying to share a 10 bathroom,
make sure your wife
shower bathroom.
You are
a 10 shower bathroom with like how many boys? Like 100 or like 150 boys.
That's why I used to wake up early to have my bath early in the morning.
Bro,
that was some Shodikwe vibes. Yeah, to come.
This guy said Shodikwe, I'm dead. Like I buy every Shodikwe.
So that nobody would disturb you. And that was looking back, that was serious vibes. And then you come and sweep floors that the cleaners
you have to do your duty.
Come and sweep after you fix floors.
like so, everyone had duties, right? So some people would clean corridors, some people would clean gutter, some people had to sweep the common room.
It was not for me, man.
Bro. And you're doing all these things before breakfast though. Right? You have to hustle for hot water the night before. Maybe waking up at 3 a.m. to get hot water.
Yeah.
Right? And then we covered it with towel so that the thing will stay warm.
Honestly, that hot water shit, that's one of the reasons why I also started to bath earlier, because I wanted hot water.
That was what
and if there was no NEPA, for like 2 days, there's no hot water. Just
forget about it.
That generator.
But I was at least we had generator.
Oh, you got that generator?
That was at 3 a.m. That was washing uniform at 3 a.m. for the next day. So it was like every school was multi-dimensional in that sense. You had the serious people, and then you had the unserious people, and then you were in the middle, like you were like. That was like, it was all vibes. And then it was, looking back, man, it was nice. I wake up and I'll see College James washing uniform. I'm like, guy, man. And the guy was next to me. So things like that. You try and copy. So
the funny thing is that he's washing uniform that is going to wear that day.
that dude,
That's the thing. Like,
how is he going to dry that shit?
Bro, are you dry it? You iron it. We used to call it iron drying.
Right, man.
That's what we call it iron dry. So you iron that shit dry. Like,
oh my gosh,
bro, that life was.
I like that, like, you get flogged if your white t-shirt isn't clean, like the edge.
Oh yeah.
The inside,
your collar.
Your collar.
Oh yeah.
If the inside wasn't clean and like your hostel master checks it that it wasn't clean, it's like slashes.
You get flogged.
You know, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
All those things.
Those were rare, but if those wasn't clean on you, if your clothes weren't clean, if that shit was dirty, like continuously, it was like man, it was like that guy's the dirty boy.
Yeah, it was a stain to your reputation. Because at that point, that's Chisom boy vibes. Because Chisom boys are very dirty, right? Because they are new to school, they are just taking care of themselves, they are smelling all kinds of things.
Oh my DS1,
they used to smell, bro. Like. These guys are dead.
You're like, why are you like this? What are you doing with your life? You don't have to organize. At that age, you think you're a big boy, right? As if you know shit. You don't know shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, that thing was bad, right? But I know that at the end of the day, like, so even like after you've done your whole duties, you've done everything, you go for breakfast, you go for assembly, then you go for classes, you're waiting for talk shop in the afternoon. That's where like the highlights of your day, where you get talk shop.
After you get talk shop.
Talk shop was like a mid-afternoon snacks. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get like meat pie or bro. I remember when they used to give us water for talk shop. That's how I knew that school was evil.
That broke your spirit. That broke our spirit.
That was like the most heartbreaking experience of my life. Okay, let me paint a picture for people because I don't think people understand what I'm saying. Right? Just imagine if you ate breakfast around 7 a.m. Right? You're a secondary school boy. This is where you get hungry like this. You're eating and you're thinking about the next meal. You get what I'm saying? Because we're always hungry constantly. So we're looking forward to talk shop where maybe they'll give us like Tampico, you know, like apple juice, orange juice, give us meat pie, things like that. Talk shop will now come, they'll give us water. Wow. And Noreos. Remember Noreos? Noreos, not Oreos, but Nigeria. Your water and Noreos. I was just like, bro, that thing just breaks your whole spirit. And you don't have to wait till lunch before you can eat again.
That's why people are running to the dining table. Why would they? Why would they run?
Why would we run? Why would we run?
And the funny thing is that when you're now older, like when you're in an older set, and like you're walking, you can't be running. But when you enter the dining hall and there's no more food, you're like,
oh no, there have to be food. There have to be food.
No, but like the good food,
by tables.
you know, like sometimes like the good food can finish. Yeah, so I tried to say. Not replace it.
That's true.
That's what I tried to say. You're like, oh my gosh, but you swallow it. You swallow it because you cannot be running. Yeah, you have to act cool.
Yeah, that's when you talk about like the whole swagger, having reputation. You can't be doing things anyhow. But I remember, you know, one of my regrets in school, apart from like, was the fact that in JS1 I pretended like I didn't eat eba. Or like I didn't eat soup or all these things, you know, like because they're trying to form fresh. Was it just or just two? You know, when you're trying to be, you know, impress girls, just when you didn't care, you do whatever you want to do, right? But when you start caring about girls, how your reputation is, things like that, you start coming. Oh, I don't eat beans, I don't eat eba, you know, I don't eat yam. Give me bread, give me rice. You know, not fully well that in your house you'll be downing eba every afternoon.
Oh my god!
Oh, man. I don't eat that, and that's why like that's why we're losing weight because we're trying to.
You'll be forming. Oh that's why I think there was also a pandemic when once we enter senior secondary school. At this point, we had left, bro. We're eating. You see how we ate, bro. We ate the food that we missed the last 3 years. We ate every day. Because at some point, like you get to the age where you're just like, this is so stupid.
Yeah,
like I'm hungry.
No one cares. No one cares. We're just all
bro. Man, man.
That was something else, right? But our life was just very, very structured, right? So they'll tell you when to go for siesta, when to wash your clothes, when to go for prep, and prep is like study time, when to, you know, different things. But then when you now come to America,
yeah. So basically, Tomiwa, like you moved from what was it, JS3? You came here.
Yeah. So basically, I came from JS3 to like. They were trying to not send me back, but I was hoping I didn't have to do like go back.
Actually, like talk about why you left. Because I remember when you left, it was just all of a sudden just like, damn, Tomiwa is not coming back for SS1, really? Like for grade 10.
All of a sudden, I'll describe that situation to you. Basically, it was I came to the US for a summer vacation, like from was you were done in school in July in Nigeria.
July. Yep.
And you start school in America. They start school in August. That was the shortest summer vacation in my life, and I regret that.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the best and the worst decision I made. But basically, I just asked my mom. I was like, man, I can't go back to Nigeria. Like, I can't go back to that second. Not like I can't go back, but it was. I didn't have my okay. The only thing that I was looking back then, I do remember myself was I didn't sew my uniforms then. So I had, how you'd have to go to the tailor. That tailor.
Yeah, you have to go to tailor to get your senior school uniform.
I didn't go, and I was dulling. So like literally, it was July, about to be August 1st, and September was coming, and I still haven't. I'm in America, so I'm just like, let me try. Let me just ask my mom, see like how far now. Let me stay. Let me just stay up. I mean, it don't pay you just to let me stay.
Your mom was living in America at the time?
Nah, she's been here for like 20 plus years. No,
really?
No. Yeah, like 18 or let's say 18 plus years back then. Like 14 back then, because I was like 14 years old. So I know, like, let me stay. And she was, African moms will sleep though. They are laying on the bed and you are just on the edge of the bed, like Alpha mom now, like that's I feel like
that's a sweet talker.
Use the best game, man. Any baby you meet after your mom is automatic. You like fun, like let me stay, I'm a good student, like I won't disappoint. I won't disappoint you. But our first fear was like, oh, this person's kid came to America, did fraud, sent him back.
Oh yeah.
This person's so like that's like you haven't told me anybody's kid that did something good and stayed in America.
Stayed in America,
yeah. So I was just like, maybe let me just stay, and I stayed, and it was just good vibes. I mean, I was FOB. Looking back, I thought I was in FOB then. I was definitely
fresh off the very boat. You were a village boy. You're coming from a father fam. Like there's no way.
Straight from a father to Chicago. The transition was my avenue was soccer, so I played. But I was still good in school. Like, bro, the school was so easy, like baby food easy.
Yes, really. I know what you mean.
Did they put you a year back?
Nah, they didn't put me a year back, but like I started freshman year. Their freshman year, how college.
Year 9. That's year 9. That's year 9 for the US.
That's year 9 for the US. So I was PS3, which is year 9 for America. So it was like a beating, and I didn't. Looking back then, I was like, oh, my guys are in SS1, me, I'm in year 9.
Yeah, 9.
Now he's like that's or he wants to enter, that doesn't even matter.
No one cares, man. Like,
but that's like the school easy, baby food easy. Then it got like the junior year was when it got hard. Like
where you start doing AP courses.
You start doing I'm like, who sent you? You don't know. It's because you thought you were a big student in Nigeria.
You wanted to bamba. You want to chill with the big boys. Like,
I remember when I first like looked at America's mathematics and their physics and their chemistry. I was like, what is this? Like, this is like year 8 shit that you should have known since like memorizing the periodic table. What's the 10th? what's 10th on the periodic table? You're like, what is this?
What is
neon?
No, it's not neon. It's fluorine. Is it fluorine?
I thought fluorine was 9, bro.
Or is it oxygen? Oxygen is 8, right?
Oxygen is 8, fam.
So 10 is fluorine.
No, 10 is neon.
How is oxygen is 8, 9, 10. Yes. 10 is when it's full. 8, I mean, it's 8 is oxygen, which has 6 outer electrons, right?
Yes.
Next is oh, you're right, it's neon.
I was just waiting for you.
Fluorine is 7, neon is 10. It's 8, sorry. 8 outer electrons. You're right. Why was I thinking fluorine and chlorine were the last ones? I completely forgot about this.
Chlorine is, I think chlorine is 19.
It's the second one. It's below the distance. Yeah. Those are odd, because they're kind of stupid shit.
This is like secondary, this is the kind of thing you're trying to memorize. Yeah.
But they've taught you in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And you just come in and that thing was automatic. So it was like you were just catching first, like baby food. But then Americans, you can't underestimate them, because in their own school, they have their own like smart people. There was this girl like Mark Blessing. She didn't have like work, and she was getting, she was just catching all the first position. So I'm like, is it you now that I have to compete against? Because I thought I would just come here and I'll just relax,
just cruise, catch cruise.
But nah, man, that was where I learned, the American lifestyle
System.
the system basically. But I didn't learn enough system because I felt like they didn't expose us to coding and programming back then.
It depends on the school you went to. If you went to a private school, and like and the program was like highly funded, they will put you in all these spaces that will prepare you for the next level. But if you go to a certain colleges and certain high schools and private public schools, there's not that much investment in the student. So it's really important for you to really research on the school you're going to place your children in, as well as you as a parent taking interest in that child's education. So those are the two factors that definitely but you have to take note of. But who knows? It also depends on the child himself. Like, because some schools don't offer AP courses at all, which is a disadvantage, and some schools offer like 20,
and some schools offer like the college. Some schools send you straight to like the community college to go those like calculus 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, to get the credits.
In college. So that's why when you get to college and you'd have already met people that have finished math.
Yeah,
met people
you're
that
like,
I never actually understood that, to be honest.
So you can.
Where they get all this credit?
There are different.
That was
ways
the
of doing
American
it.
system.
There are different ways of doing it. There's the AP way and there's the community college way. So the AP way, you take AP courses. There's AB this is for mathematics. There's AB and there's BC. So AB is like maths, like calculus 1, calculus 2, and BC is like calculus 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So I was able to get my AB and not do the first two. But the thing is that WPI, if you failed calculus 3, you have to take calculus 1 and 2 again. So it doesn't even matter about if you passed the AP course or not. But luckily, I didn't have to do that.
There was a way tension right there, man. Too much tension.
But I guess that's one thing I never really understood about America, because like
it depends on
Nigeria. In Nigeria, we all take the same classes.
Yeah,
right?
at America,
unless it's like things like Igbo, Yoruba, like French, or what was the other one? No, I think everyone has to take French. It was like Agric and home economics. Things like that. Those are kind of things that you choose between when you enter senior secondary school.
Right? I think America's system is just based on the opportunity. First of all, the opportunity of courses you have, as well as are you willing to do it on a personal level. Like, so if you have those two factors aligned, then you can go beyond. You can even do second level courses for all Americans kids. It all depends on the student and if the opportunities are available to you. Mm-hmm. So it's on an individual basis to determine how you structure your courses.
Yeah, imagine if somebody had introduced us to like Python in
school, Abi.
Coding early, in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, I'll just say like, this is what coding is. If you do this and this, you can be making.
I'm telling you, Nigerians will eat that shit. We'll eat that shit.
Like
we're eating it even now that we were introduced to it. Just imagine if we were.
He said, Peter, is the opportunity that's like the opportunity is minimal. Like if somebody had come up to me then like this is what CS, this is what computer science is, like just computer science is this, but I didn't know. I came in as an architectural major because I as same as Peter, I love buildings and I just like this. I do know how to design buildings. Like back in secondary school, intro tech was my
intro tech, man. Yeah, where you use your T-square, your set square.
Yeah, you have to have everything set, and so that was like
your compass.
Architects was like the way to go. Then you start programming it. You start looking at it like architects. They don't pay architects that much in America. I'm like, okay, let me do structural engineering and civil engineering.
Yeah,
but I can still make small money and still enjoy what I do. At the end, if someone had come up to me then, this is what CS is, I felt like I feel like I would have had the broader array of selections. Stick to architecture because I almost died on top of the architecture like is architecture or die. I like building man. But looking back, I'm glad I'm glad for everything. How everything played out. It's kind of like
Everything played out. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's one thing, because I think in school, like, I'm talking about secondary school in Nigeria, right? We had an idea of who we wanted to be, right? That's why when you enter SS1, you either choose science or arts, right? Or commerce.
yeah.
Right. And then when you now come in, so within that, if you're trying to do anything science related, then you do science. If you're trying to do arts or business or anything, then you do commerce or arts. But then when you now enter university, the thing about Nigeria is that you pretty much have to pick your path, and that's what you're going to run with, right? Yeah, there's no, like, the flexibility is not as much. When you come to America, though,
Yeah.
that's where you see, like, real flexibility. It's more like you start as one thing, you can transfer to another thing, change things up, switch things, choose your classes.
As long as you have the money.
As long as you have the money and you're ready to put it to work, But, like, that's one thing I appreciate about the American system as well. And then, like, even the opportunity and the way your eyes will open, because you see so many different things that people are doing outside of class. Like, because I went to Covenant University for 1 year. For the most part, people are just there for school. And then the people that were, like, obviously have, like, business mind, they start their businesses on the side. So maybe they are selling food, or they are making they are, like, renting out gyms or something like that. That's what they'll be doing, right? But those are, like, small scale business. But in school, you meet people that are coding. You meet people that are, like,
They have their own startup.
Have their own startup, things like that. Just like, whoa,
things like,
like,
Tesla has offered me an internship. You're just in the first semester of your freshman year. Like,
you're like, what? Like how? Like,
where did it come from, fam? Who is this? Like, you be seeing geniuses left and right. You're like, yo, man, I'm worried.
But then your eye will open, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I guess we're gonna talk about careers, right? Like, career, and, like, how we decided. Because tomorrow you said you love buildings, you loved all these things, but that's not what you're doing right now, right? So how do you now balance that choice between money and the thing that you love, right? Because
I would say looking at the big picture of everything, it's all about problem solving in the end. If Chisom, maybe you can remember, looking back to, there was this little cardboard house I built out of this Tampico talk shop.
I remember that. Like, you like told the whole thing. I had
to it because you make a battery from the two batteries, and then that lights up a light. You just stick that in. You cut out the hole. That was the first instance I built like something like that, and I do remember that because Simi did the same thing, and just like, that was the first instance of, don't let me say, I would say motivating, but back then I was thinking like, oh, why is this guy copying me? Why is this guy copying me? Don't copy me, like, But that was, looking now, it's like my mindset is more different. I'm no more envious. I'm no more jealous. It's no more a competition.
You've grown up pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
It's not like a class thing where like I must get first and you must get second. If you don't, like, actually, I can help my guy, and I can help my guy in secondary school. But come on, how far, if I'm not helping him too much, come and beat me when they are not calling award best thing. And I was one that mentored you, at least give me let me get small.
Let me get my awards.
Let me get my own shit.
Typed out apprentice.
But now it's like that mindset is all gone. And I'm reading this book now. It's The Alchemist, and it's talking about like finding your personal legend. It's called I'm just on like the first 30 something pages, but it's called Personal Legend, where you find your dreams and everything in the universe would conspire to help you achieve it. So if you want to become a structural engineer, you get the application to school, you get the internship, you get the apprenticeship, everything would work in your favor for you to become like this, like the structural guy. If you want to say you want to become a cloud engineer, like if you say you want to do this, do that, everything would work. So it's just more of a, now that you've become this, like I've become like, I've basically switched careers to become a cloud engineer. The next thing for me is like, what's my new, like my next personal legend?
New legend. Yep.
So it's like, what's really my next personal legend? If not just, and I was like, it can't be work. It can't be what I'm doing now. Because one thing in the book was like, this guy was like, he was used to what he was doing. That's why he didn't want to switch and then try or
Try
push
something else.
personal legend because it was what he was doing. So it was more of a. I'm still reading the book every time. Every time I go to work, I read it. I make sure I just like read. I know English is not my strong suit. I know this is Uruma back then. He's like, nah.
Oh, Aruba, man. Oh my God, that was our English teacher extraordinaire.
There were 25 people in the class. I was looking at my reports, like, because I still have it in my garage in America. I was just looking at it, like, how did this get here? I was 16 out of 25 people in English, my guy. But in other classes, I'll be like second, third, fourth, first. But like English was like 16, but I was still gather like.
You just reminded me, bro. Like they actually used to put our positions in the results, like
That's
our like for each individual subject.
That's wild.
And then that will give you an overall score. But like,
yeah.
Looking back,
did you guys have comments?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Oh, F.O. Phillips. But F.O. Phillips just used to sign. She didn't used to come unless you were stuck. Reckless boy.
Nah, the comments were definitely the things I feared the most. Because when they say that, oh, Peter has potential, but it's not just serious in class. My dad would just be like, okay, that's another 5 lashes right there. Yeah.
Nah, we won't see the good scores. We'll see the comments.
Yeah, they will see the comments.
Play football.
So you were serious in class. Oh my God.
Man. Yo,
that's my thing that my dad hates. My dad wants me to sit in front of class, ask questions, raise up my hand every time. You know what I mean? Be that person, basically. That's what my dad wants me to do. So if I stray away from that in any way, shape, or form, he gives me an eye. And I'm like, when my dad gives me an eye, I know I'm dead. Like,
yo,
that night.
You're like, bro. But yo, Tomiwa, so pretty much your life has been like kind of like should I say, a pot of different things, right? Like you said, like structural engineer, architect, cloud engineer, everything, right? So you started as architecture. You went to UC Berkeley, actually. Fun fact, right? Yeah. So this man's brain is hot. This is like number one. Is it number one structural engineering school in the country?
It is number one.
It is number one. Looking at it, it was one of my guys. I was sitting in my steel structures class, and one guy was applying to school next to me. And that was like senior year. Still, nobody exposed. Like, I don't know why nobody exposes people to this, to the
information
to do with their future. They just do school, get the 4-year degree, and
get job.
It's at the end of like the graduation, like people are like, damn, I'm really done with school and I don't have a job, or like, oh, some people that will find job before they graduate. People are like, damn, I'm 4 years, at least I have my degree. But senior year, first semester, this guy was applying and he was basically putting in his applications, and me, I was dulling. And I took my GRE after I had submitted my application. Of course, you had the option.
Really?
And the way my life works is like it's a one or done thing. It's like I bet on myself, basically. Like if I fail the GRE, I'm not going to like forget. But I won't say I know myself, because people can fail. Like I failed before. It's not not like everything automatic. Like I failed my certification exam first, but it's just more of a mentality difference type thing.
You just move on. You failed, you try again.
Yourself up and you just keep pushing.
I mean, this same thing happened to me with my GRE. Like I took the GRE 3 times until I got the score I wanted.
Exactly. So that you can get to where you want to go and get to the school you want to get in.
Yeah.
Get into. But basically, the guy that applied, and then I saw the first. I looked up the first top 3 schools in America. That was the first thing I did, because I was if I was at U of I was tired of being in Champaign. That was where our school was located, in like Trinity, in the middle of nowhere. Our school always in the middle of nowhere, bro. Like I need to leave, but like after being, how you are like 4 years in one location, like okay, you had fun. Like by year 2, you're like, no, you're not living anywhere. By year 3 is like, by year 4 is like, okay, it's time to go. That was me in undergrad. I'm like, year 4, I've had my fun. School has finished me, made me depressed, anxiety. Like, this was school. School would do you like this. You learn.
Yeah, it's highs and lows, bro. Constant.
Like college in America was different. Like that is one that will see dirty and then wash you off, and then but it's more of a, based on everything, like trying to help people, like trying to help. And so looking back, everything helped me to where I was going. And then I just applied like that winter. February, put in my application. February took the GRE, took it one time. I was like, no matter the score, because it's an exam, you know how you take it on the computer, but when you press submit, you get it, you get
the score right there.
Right there and then. If you like, oh man, so it wasn't like the score I was looking for, but it was like middle average. I didn't even know what it was out of. But the way I studied was like I just like studied one track, like studied hard because it's a one-time thing. I can't come and study because I plan on taking it. I plan on taking it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like one or done.
And sent it to Berkeley. And then they were like, I actually thought I wouldn't get accepted because I applied to Berkeley and U of I and Champaign, and I got accepted into both. But Berkeley gave me more money, even though it was out of state. And given that, I'm like, U of I, like my undergrad school. I'm your nigga now.
I'm your guy now. Like, what's happening?
Drop 30K on your guy. Let your guy go to school. They're like, you have to pay 50. I'm like, 50K? I'm like, what? Like, nah, because the grad school is like 2 years and Berkeley is like 1 year. That's when you start doing some math. Like, you can go to grad school for 1 year, get this degree, and get out. And so I'm like, you know what? And I've always wished to like leave Illinois. I've always been in Illinois for the past 8 years. I've go travel, they even enter plane, they even
really.
If I went anywhere to be to Wisconsin or Indiana, just drive,
driving,
take towaway
in the snow. You try.
So it was more of a like, I need to get out. Like that movie, Get Out. Man. So, and before then, I had an internship in Seattle. So before I went to Berkeley, I was in Seattle for an internship with one of my guy. And my guy was working in Microsoft. Me, I was doing a structural engineering internship, buildings. So anything buildings, that was what the company was doing there. And I'm grateful for that internship because that was a nice, Seattle was a nice place, but I don't think I saw myself like living there for long in Seattle. I was like, I need to come back to Chicago. But before then, I'm like, okay, let me at least go and get this degree in Berkeley. Let me just do this. That was when COVID hit, like February. So everything was like everything was like a full mix of experience. But looking back, I'm glad. Finished it. Structural engineering done.
So did you end up doing grad school online then?
Yeah.
With COVID. Oh wow.
But I was glad because that second semester, I think I was going to fail, my guy. I don't think I was going to pass.
Really?
You know how you have to go to class every day, and do assignment, bro. Grad school was different. Because I was like thinking, after undergrad, go straight to grad school, get it done, over with. I don't know how I would want to work and go back. Because if I start uni, I for myself, I don't think I would go to school. I would find more ways to make more money. And with the way me and my guys talk about it, school is important, but unless you have an end goal for it, like if you know the job description you'll be getting straight out of school and it will be paying you and it will satisfy you into it. People do also have passions. That's what you call personal legend. Their dreams. That's like you can't distract anybody from that. Actually,
you have to have you have to have a clear goal. It's not as if you're like going to school just to go to school. That was undergrad level for us.
Yeah.
But now, like you're going to school for that, like 1 year, 2 year. People will go to school for doctors. You have the people that are lawyers, and those are good. Those are good avenues to like go. But looking back, I felt like grad school is the toughest time.
Really?
Do
you think it was because of the COVID factor? Because I've heard some other people say that grad school is easier than undergrad.
No. Grad school is hard.
Yeah.
Because maybe in some schools you'd see people getting the 4.0s. Because I saw someone's resume, structural engineering, like GPA 4.2 GPA. Me too, I was like, I can't wait to go to grad school and get it over with. Because if I'm getting 3.2 in undergrad, I can definitely, 4.2 would be nice to put on the resume. Like Berkeley, man. That shit they watched me finish. Like aside you get out of class and you're always working, and I'm in a place where I don't know anybody. So what I had coming in was different from what I'm going through. And I'm like, not making sense. I'm not having fun. I'm in California, but I'm still not having like the best time. But I was
because of COVID policies and stuff like that.
Policies, but there was hiking and there were concerts before COVID. Once COVID came, it was like there was only hiking and there was video games, and that was I caught up. I caught up with most of the Trinity guys. I caught up with Etsy, like on House Party. That COVID season brought guys together, although we were far away.
Yeah, that's true. You can't link up with guys again. You know, you talk to guys you haven't talked in a while.
Real. But yeah, man.
We'll bleep that part out. We're definitely bleeping that part out. Oh god.
Yo, the battles that we did to get through school, man.
Things you do, boys. Like at the end, I ended up taking like one summer class, but at the end they freaked your boy, man. But Berkeley was like the whole experience of being in number one school. While you're in it doesn't feel like it, but it just feels like you're dying. You're down.
Yeah.
But when that COVID season hits, I literally like sat. I was just in my room and I didn't know anybody. That was when I planned my future. I didn't even know what I would be doing. I didn't know I would be doing like cloud engineering. I had an internship lined up. I had a full-time offer lined up with my internship I had done in Seattle. So, and they had an office in Chicago basically. So I was like, I'm going back home. I'm about to be back home working full-time. But with COVID, they took their offer back, man.
That offer back. Damn.
So imagine going back home and just chilling from like August to you never know when you find a job. Yikes. So that's man.
That's crazy. It took their
So honestly, thank God. But tell us how you got into cloud computing then, because obviously you had that experience with the whole COVID policies, getting out of school, not getting a job, or getting the job that you had lined up retracted. So how did you like rigmarole your way into cloud computing?
That become a bigger boy.
That was a different thing. But what I would say before I start is always bet on yourself and don't be scared to try new things. Like and not like new things.
Don't feel like you're ever stuck.
Don't feel like you're ever stuck. And don't feel like, always bet on yourself. Like I've grown marijuana before, and
you grown that shit.
I've grown that shit before. It was because that was after I left Berkeley, and the way my mindset was California is a whole vibe. It's a free spirited. Sun is out 24/7, and that was where I felt like after school I did no job. I was just growing it just for my own research purposes. I learned a lot from doing that. Like you can start something from nothing. And that was, but going into cloud engineering, I'd gotten a job with this civil engineering company, February 2021. Boys had been applying from like November, December, January, even past November itself, like October, because I need to find a job, but COVID, like those COVID policies were strict, bro. Like zero job, no job for zero budgets. And I'm like, how far? Like, give your boy something, but I feel like if you put in work, you will find something. Like, don't just open yourself. Don't just come and be like, oh, nobody's hiring. Come and chill.
Don't give up, because giving up is 100% failure at that point.
100% failure. Like even if the rejections will be there, companies will come and say no. Like you come and be like, damn, like it's not my
man.
Like, am I not good in? Honestly, I got used to no. Get used to no. That's what I advise you. Get used to no.
And with the way I see it now is like there will be 70% no's, but there will be 30%. There will be a 30% yes factor in like when you apply. So basically, I got my first civil engineering job, was getting paid 68K out of college. It was good because for that same position, my friends are getting paid 63, 65. and they sold me on the basis of we're a family, and
take care of our people.
Yeah, we care about people, and it's a small owned company. But they, with the money they were paying me, they paid me to shut my mouth up and just work. And I was paid good money, 68 looking back then. But I worked, and they promised me remote because COVID was still going on then. But come and find out that I was the only one, like one of the only ones still going to office. I was like, is it because I'm the only black person, like the only black boy here? But I didn't play the race card. I don't play the race card. I keep it professional, but it's like
we Nigeria people, we hardly play that race card. We were just like, anywhere you want to throw, so throw you, we'll enter, we'll walk.
You walk. Like, you start noticing those tricks, like, I'm the only one.
Suspect situations.
Suspect, like jackpot. Like, I'm coming into office like Monday to Friday, but you've given me like the whole desktop setup, and you've promised. When they guy Peter, when I tell you, they will shake your hand. They'll say, most of our employees are working from home. So you too, Peter, as a young engineer, you get to work from home. They'll give you desktop, they'll hand you brand new monitor, work laptop.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, some days you get to work from home. But they're like, coming Monday, coming Tuesday, coming Wednesday, coming Thursday, coming Friday. But it's like, okay, you can do that for the first 3-4 weeks, first 2 months, if you have it in you. But after a while, the 5 days a week gets tiring on your body. So it's like, and during my grad school, we even looked at the 4 days a week compared to the 5 days a week. The 4 days a week is more efficient, but that's I don't even.
Yeah, there have been studies on it, Chisom.
Yeah.
Like, because if you really think about it, for me, kind of, there's sometimes lag between certain projects and stuff like that you have to wait. I think you're a lot more fast paced when you have a limited amount of time to get something done. Yeah. If that makes sense.
And then you also like get more rest time too. So like, I don't know, I feel like that helps, but I don't know.
Rest does help. Like, rest is important. That's what is important. Now, if you want to work hard, you have to at least rest small. But basically, they gave me the whole setup, and I found myself coming in Monday to Friday, and I told them like, hey, I literally can't do this. Or that was February, March, April, May, all the way through summer, August. Then by September, I'm already calculating this. Like, man, this is wearing my body out. Like, I can't do this anymore. So every time I got paid, I would save like $1,000. I would save $800 to my emergency funds, because I was already thinking of a game plan. Like,
game plan.
Like, you see the way I'll come into work, I'll clock in, but my mind is not at work. I'm already thinking, but with the same thing about opportunity. No one.
How we go jump ship?
Exactly. I'm about to jump ship, completely different ship. But no one told me about the ship that I'm about to jump into. No one is like, hey, if you jump, you might land inside the water, you might land in another ship. Just make sure you have some money. Just make sure you have emergency funds saved up. So like October, November, I quit in November, and with the way they do it in college, they teach you how to write a resume. They teach you how to write all this career letters,
all that thing, yeah.
But they never teach you how to resign a job, or how to quit a job, or how to have 2 weeks notice. So I found myself like looking up on Google, like, how do you write a 2 weeks resignation letter? Because it's time to go. Like, I can't come, they're not working with me basically. And I turned in my first 2 weeks resignation letter. That's when their eyes like shone. They were like, wow, he's about to go. Like, this black boy can speak up for himself. Like, let's come and work with him. But they offered me part-time, and then I was like, but it couldn't work because of the PTO and the health benefits. Well, the system couldn't work. But when I added in another 2 weeks resignation letter, and they were trying to let me go on the spot, like that day, I'm like, how far? Is it not 2 weeks resignation? Like,
they wanted to fire you that day.
Yeah. They didn't want to pay the next 2 weeks.
Company, bro. That's a sketchy company. What the heck?
Yeah, but I'm like, maybe that's how they do it in the professional world.
No. Mine. I've told mine for months that I'm leaving for college, and they're fine. I'm still working, obviously, but it depends on the company you work for. Honestly, that's the way I think of it.
Yeah, it's different if you're like, oh, you are leaving for school compared to like you are leaving them.
You're
like,
resigning.
Forget you guys. You're about to jump ship basically. I know how loyalty works with a company. Like, you see them every day, and now it's time to not see them every day.
Yeah.
So basically, I handed in my 2 weeks resignation. Well, I was like, do you want to? It was on Wednesday, and I convinced my manager, like, I was working on designing a bridge with one of my supervisors. I'm like, let me at least finish that, because I was actually learning how to design the bridge, how you do it. If anything for life, let me just gather this one. So on Friday, I just left the job. But before then, somebody told me about AWS, cloud engineering. I'm like, what's this P? What's this P, man? And before I quit my job, I was already looking into it.
Can I just say that we've been saying P long before? Who was this guy that just released a song about P? Is it Gunna or who?
Pushing P.
Pushing P.
Pushing P. I just want to say that Nigerians have been saying P long before that. Like, but anyway, just continue.
So with the OP, man, I just like quit my job, was already studying, and
So at that point, you had decided that you're gonna go into like cloud engineering and things like that.
Yes, because I saved up 4K, 5K, and then I had money in crypto by then, small money in crypto, but that was minus the 4K I saved up. But the way I planned it was like, at least I'll still have money. I banked on it for 3 months. Okay. On 3 months, you can basically, get the certification and get it done. If you don't get it done, it's on you. Like, I saw it was, but looking back, it was not like that. It was more of a step by step, like, I don't know how to describe it, man. You just have to bet on yourself, like literally bet on yourself that you get it done. And once I quit my job, I was already studying about, I was getting the certification, got the first step in December, and that was around all this Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and my birthday. And something about me, when I'm trying to do something, I don't like taking breaks. I don't like, taking time off, because I feel like that distracts me. Yeah. So I basically like to do like one track, one time, get it done, over with. But in January, talking about failure. I failed my the first time I tried to take the associate exam, failed it. But then I'm like, man, you can't come and, like, Tomiwa, you can't come and be down on yourself. Basically applied to like all this bunch of jobs. And by the time they had started reaching back to me, I sat back down to like retake the certification class and or the certification exam, and I passed. So by the time I was interviewing for jobs, I'd already had the certification in hand.
Oh, nice. Now, what was the time frame between failing and passing? Is it like something that you can easily take again, or is it something that you have to like literally go through a whole course again?
It's more of a you can take it again, but they give you a 2-week buffer. They give you 2 weeks before you can sign up to take it again on their website. But I took it like maybe 4 weeks in. After the 2 weeks, then another 2 weeks, I relaxed because I was anxious. I'm like, oh, maybe I come and feel this P, man. There's no going back. So let me just take my time. Like,
take your time, I do it well, yeah.
There are some times in life where you like, you do something, but there are some times where you're like, let me take my time. Like,
slow down and do it well.
Time, one track, one and done, So it's just like during that time, I just took my time, and then because I knew that by the time they'll start calling you back, hey, like, come and like tell me about yourself, come and get like sit down for this interview. I'd have already had the certification in hand, because it's different when you're applying, trying to get something. It's like trying to get a full-time job without a degree or like without a master's.
Yeah.
You know that in your heart that there's something you're lacking. Even if you can fake it, that you can put the master's on your resume. Yeah. Like you really don't have it like that. So once you have it, it's different.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, this is it.
This is it. So, but before then, I'd also track my mindset that you don't really, like, all that thing to is mental. You don't need to have it. You can fake it till you make it. So I'm like, I still put the certification on my resume. I still put the AWS Cloud Engineering Associate on my resume. and I kept it pushing. So, but I kept applying to jobs, and they were already calling me. So I was in the middle of interviews and taking the exam. So, but once I took the exam, or like on a Tuesday, I passed it, man. I was so gingered. I was excited. Nothing could stop me. Then I was like, man, it was a success. Like, kept on going. And before then, like, I had an interview with TikTok. It did not work.
TikTok.
I had an interview with Western Union. It did not work. All because of what was I doing? I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. And but I calmed down. That was some part of my life. January and February, calmed down. Figured myself out and got like my first offer with JP Morgan, and it was like I kept interviewing like that. I had an interview with like EA Sports, Amazon Ring, and Salesforce. Although those people are foolish people, they haven't gotten back to me yet. But I was just saying I didn't get them. But it's just like at least I have like one offer, and that's enough to keep me going. But cloud engineering in itself is a fulfilling career too. Let me put it. I know we've been talking about the whole success, but I'll say cloud engineering in itself, if you're looking to keep problem solving, if you're an engineer, I don't think you'll have any problem with any sort of engineering per se. If they put you in CS, if they put you in coding, you would figure it out because it's problem solving. So that's why I feel like there's no, you're not really jumping ship per se. Like if you're not jumping into water, the only way you jump into water is if you just like quit civil engineering and come and do nothing or become a bum or like just
and you're not developing yourself anymore.
Yeah, jumping ship to higher ship or into a ship. So it's just it's what ginger. There was not like anything big. I was trying to make more money and I was trying to be remote per se. Because with the way
such a millennial, bro.
With the way life is going, it's like you are trying to, with the way the future is looking, people are becoming more remote and is able to become, for you to make 6 figures and remote. And looking back, everything all tracks to your mental. Like you find yourself being happy, you find yourself being excited, more ginger to do things. So yeah, and with the way I used to go into office Monday to Friday, I didn't like have time for myself. Like, and I know myself, like you still want to come home, talk, FaceTime one guy, FaceTime your guy, do this, do that. But by the time you come home, you're just going to bed and sleeping. You're like, that's dead. That's not me. You're already adulting at 23. Like,
nah, man, that's real. That's real. And like, one thing, because I was listening to Jordan Peterson and what he always said about talking about the whole like switching things, right? Because sometimes we're very, very hard on ourselves when we want to change or when we want to almost like quote unquote quit. Right. But what he always says was, quitting is not bad as long as you find something that is of equal difficulty or harder. Right. So it's not like you're necessarily quitting because you feel like you can't do it, but it's just more like you're quitting because you feel like you need to change course. It's just the best decision for that time. And that's always like a good check, so if you're stopping something because, I don't know, you feel like you want to do something easier, I don't know if that's a good enough reason to stop. But if you're like, okay, I'm doing something because I feel like I can challenge myself in a different way, right? Then I feel like you can always like overcome that internal battle with yourself where you feel like, oh, I'm living below my potential, or I'm not doing something that I feel like I can. I'm not living up to the level that I know I can get to. But damn, bro, that was something that was like, even like the whole failure and everything, and now like you got the certification, I think, because I remember, I don't know, failure is always weird, man. Like Peter. Well, yeah, I was going to talk about your GRE, like how you quote unquote failed your GRE the first time, and I was going to ask you like, yo, like how did that feel, bro?
The GRE stuff was kind of like the first one. I was not expecting my perfect score because it's my first time trying. It was the second one that hit me hard because the second one I basically got the same score. I was like, but did I not study for another like month and a half just to try to do this thing, and I got the same score,
the exact same thing,
literally the exact same score, like just one off. What's 1 point off of one of the GRE scores of like, I was like, what's this? Like, is this stuff really say that like this is
it.
my limit? As like, God forbid, this is not my limit. I mean, it wasn't as if it's a bad score. In general, that score will get you into like a good university, a great university. But I was aiming for the upper echelons of the schools. So I was like, I mean, I have to have like one punch, one solid backhand. When you show the now score, it's like, yeah, okay, this guy got that shit. Yeah. So it was the second time. That's what I called you now. When I got out of the GRE, I called you. So I was like, yo, guy, I got my score. I got it because I called my mom. I called my dad. Because it was such a good
like, I made it, man.
Yo, it was such a good feeling. I was studying for months. Chisom knows. I was studying for months. This GRE stuff. And I was like, the third time, I was like, bro, if I have to do this thing a fourth time, I'm dead. Like, honestly, I'm going to give up. Right? But the third time I got my score, I was so happy. So happy. And I called everyone. And it was such a fulfilling feeling that, like, okay, I got the bloody score I wanted. Thank the Lord.
That's the way it is, man. At the end of the day, you just keep pushing. Right? Like, I know one of my certifications for work, like, I failed it the first time, and that was something that I thought was easy, that I would just pass. I didn't even study that hard, to be honest. I was just like, when you think you're smart, you're like, I can figure this shit out, man. This is
on exam day, Chisom was looking at this like, well,
that's an exam, bro. I was just like, what is happening? I saw questions, I was like, you read the question, and they're like, no, let me read this thing again.
That's how you know
the answer is in the question.
Yo, that's how
you're not trying to do calculation, like, okay, what's the probability that the answer will be C? Because if it's C, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're trying to cheat.
That's how you know you already failed.
Yes,
the exam.
100%.
Bro, so I went to back that exam, like, bro, it took me a whole year to take it again. Like, after I failed it, I was just like that thing hit me. I was just like, yo, let me just recalibrate my whole life. And I was just like, nah, I forgot about it. I was like, so it was not like, I think I signed up to take the exam again in 6 months, right? Because I was like, okay, let me just take my time. I think I rushed it too much this time, but I wasn't even studying that hard. 6 months came, I didn't study. I was like, nah, I'll push it again for another 6 months. But I pushed it again for another 6 months, and that was the deadline. I couldn't push it again. If I push it past that, I have to pay again.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing that now motivated me. Okay, let me just lock in. So I just locked in for like.
The guy.
Yeah, I was like, I think my body is like a huge motivation a lot of the time. But and I was just like, yo, like, I can't fail this exam again, man. Like, so I just locked in for like 3 weeks, studied. When I went in there, when you're writing that exam and you feel good, it's like, it's a good feeling, but there's still that looking anxiety at the back of your mind that, what if I'm feeling this shit? What if I'm feeling?
What if there's a surprise question or something like that?
Exactly, yo. But then, and it's also it was also like the GRE where you get your result right there and then like pass or fail. They don't even tell you what the whole score is. So I was like, yo, once I clicked the submit exam, that thing took like 20 seconds. It felt like an eternity. I was just looking at this shit loaded. I was just like, shit.
Nah, but you would know if you pass or fail though. 100%.
I felt like I passed, but just the weight was yo, I don't like this shit. I was like, yo, what if I just see fail here?
Things like that will break. Like, is when you start processing, like, how would you handle it as a man? Like, as a
yo, bro, that thing is different, man. And then I also like passed the exam there. I was just like,
I definitely don't like seeing fail. Like with one shots like that, I always make sure I pass them first time. Like if it's a pass or fail type of exam, I always make sure I pass it first time. I don't want to be in that position of like saying that like, nigga, you failed this and this. Like all the exams, like my FE certification once. So my Six Sigma green belt once. What do you call it?
Which other certification do you have?
My associate, my green associate from the United States. It's one of these certifications for green stuff. It was one of those certifications for
sustainability.
Yeah, so sustainability shit. It was one of those exams, and I was just like, one shot.
Dumb.
I don't like failing this thing. Yeah. I'm sure that in the future there will be one, because I know there's harder exams in my future that's coming up. Yeah. I just wrote 2 already. I was like looking at them. I was like, that PE and CE, those 2 exams. I'm looking at them like, those are tough ones. But I would prefer for those definitely. So
Yeah.
I'm more
Yeah.
At the end
confident
of the day,
in
you just
passing
prepare,
those.
man. Do the best you can, and then you
Yeah.
leave the rest. And then if you fail, you just push again. You do it
There's
again,
always the anxiety of like, am I actually smart enough to pass this exam?
right? Especially when you're studying, you're just like, yo. But to me, I always know though. Like to me, I know if I put in the work, I'll get the results. I think
Exactly.
that's one. That's one. Like in anything I do, right? Maybe except for like singing, cause bro,
Don't kill me,
I don't
bro.
know about that one, man. But I think in like most things where it just comes to like using your brain, if I put in the work, I'll be able to get it, you know.
Yeah.
But Tomiwa, thank you, man. This conversation was a dope conversation. And just in conclusion, I just wanted to ask you this question because you were talking about the alchemist and finding your legend and everything. So who are you, man? Like who is Tomiwa? Accurate to me.
Man, just like right now, I'm trying to like find new things to do with
Mm-hmm.
life because now, life is all about what I do now. My day to day is work, and I'm trying to basically be good at what I do now. This new ship I'm on, I'm trying to make sure I
You
pilot,
excel in it. You want to
and
become the captain of the ship.
You're steering it well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
yeah,
know.
don't come and steer it one wagga wagga way. Come and say, come and going.
Mhm.
Like I know how we do now. We have to make sure we're good at what we do, not just like we can fake. About like looking back is more of a if you put in the work, as you said, I
Mm-hmm.
looking back was the slogan then was hard work plus prayer equals success.
Success. Yeah.
It was, if you work hard, and that is what I'm like. I'm lacking on the prayer. I need to pray for. I feel like if I pray like I used to pray in
Back
tricors,
in the days, yeah.
everything just is
Bro.
in place like automatic. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
work, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like now is if you just put in the work yourself, I feel like God has already ordained you. Like He has already given you. If you're hardworking, you're hardworking. If you are
Mm-hmm.
dancing, if you are singing, you're singing. So
Yeah.
just put in the work, and that's and I would say the work never stops.
Okay.
It got to a level where I thought the work stopped. I was like,
Actually, same.
yeah, after I got
The work never stops.
the work never stops. I was like, after I got this, masters, I feel chill, no more learning. That was when they were talking about the PE, and there
Oh,
was
you didn't know about the PE?
I knew about the P and something I didn't get. I hadn't gotten my FE by then. So for me to
Mhm.
take the P, I'd have to
Pass
take.
the FE, and that's it. The
Yeah.
FE is not like the FE is not as if it's and it's both exams are hard, but the FE is broad.
FE is broad, like you
Broad.
learn broad. Like I'm like at this age, this old age of mine, you want me to come and
The-
learn all these
I
things like they've taught
I
me.
was studying on my floor because I just moved in to North Carolina. I was on the floor on the ground studying. That's what was me during my
I
FE.
was studying with candle lights, like
And they say burning the midnight oil.
Oh my
that was
gosh, bro!
burning the midnight.
You just see me on floor as if I'm like one princess looking at book.
Drop me like one of your French guys.
Oh my gosh!
But you just put in the work and everything will just come in, and that was what the book. And I can't wait to finish the book because, if you just put in the work, everything will align to fall in your hand. If you want to come a dancer, like if you drop, not necessarily if you drop everything else you're comfortable with, but if you like more,
Like focus.
if you're focused into this new into this new like way of like you can
Direction.
am I so if you want to my end goal in life is to I was thinking about it today. I would like to become like an investor in the sense such that I'm not right now as an engineer I'm still more how does this work, how does that work. I would like to know how the
Mm-hmm.
functions, but the investor such that like I will just put in the money, you present like the presentation is there I see, but like I'll still like want to invest in a lot of things because I feel like my passion now is like going forward now is to find what I enjoy doing in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be cannabis, it could be investing in cannabis or having my own grow house in the future. But that's a long down the line. It
Down
could
the line thing.
it could be like maybe and I don't have like a top goal like become a CEO of a company, become
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
CFO. I just want to be happy by if the money like because I know myself, if I put in the work, the money will just be trickling down. But now is now
Mm-hmm.
time to focus because in school you are just focused on books, school. That
Mm-hmm.
a one-track mind, like, and that was one of the thing I feel like that reward about life. You're free to do anything you want to do. You could not do any. You could actually not even do anything. Don't go to work. Like it's.
Yeah.
I could actually not go to work. Just sit down. Like, but now it's like okay, my friend will like, guy, come and link in PR now. There's. He's like, how will I get there? But it's also can actually be like a motivation. You have to find something to ginger you per se, and it can't be money. And in the book too, the book actually said the book was in support of making money. So basically, said, whoever doesn't think money doesn't make the world move is a liar. Like,
yeah,
to you. So imagine if you are chilling with somebody and they're like, nah, man, me, I don't like making money. Like, I was thinking about it. Like, if somebody was like, I don't like making money. I don't know how to. Or I don't like working, or I don't know how money is. I don't actually like, not like associate with that person. But I'm like this. I'm looking for.
Your focus is somewhere else because your focus is on the like you like making money, you want to make money, so you can't be focused on someone who doesn't want to do it.
Necessarily don't have to do the same thing, but it can be like I can invest in that thing, like drop 50K return on investment to be like that. So it's more of a, and I see myself as a real estate investor. That's the I feel like tech will take me towards because before I got into tech, I was into real estate with structural engineering. Like imagine getting a house and breaking it down, and you design the house. Like Peter, you can even design a house if you know how it goes, like foundation, then this, then that, then the walls, then you can design it like that.
You definitely need the money for that.
Exactly, but you're lacking something. Something is missing, my guy, which is the money. So it's like, and the way I like to do things myself is like I don't want to. Moving on in life, you come and find out that you can't come and do everything.
You need to distribute responsibilities.
Exactly. You have the guys that are good in this, good in that. So you have to at least have money to say you want somebody, you want the good guy to come and do something for you.
Work for you, yeah.
So, but looking down the line, like a real estate investor, and just using that tech money, it won't be 2 years, it wouldn't be 3 years. That's the painful part. That's the part that's killing me. Like, I wish I can just go to bed and then I get the 50K to start what I actually want.
That's how we always do today.
Yeah, but
it takes a while, man. That's the beautiful thing about life.
That's the thing about life.
And that's the journey.
Then looking forward, you start calculating it. Like, you wouldn't want the same for your kids. If anything, I would like to, that story of how God gave like gifts, like
the talents
to people, and then tell them to like go out and come back. I think that's what I'll do for my kids, basically. Yeah, 10K after college. Let's see how you multiply it.
So some Trump shit.
I'll give them a small loan of $1 million.
$1 million.
Let's see what they do with it.
Maybe it's because I was like, I wishing like my mom did it for me, like because I trust.
You always want to do your kids better than your parents did you.
Exactly. I mean, which is big facts. I wish giving me like 20K, like guy, and I know in myself. People can be like, oh, I play too much. But I know myself. Like, if you give me like 20K, I'm about to go back and bring like 50K back and multiply it. Give you your 20K and start with my 30K.
Niger man.
That's what I see doing for my kids. Like, but now is like the time to like have a financial planner. And if you guys are down to speak to the financial planner, basically like if you want your Roth 401k, Roth IRA, life insurance, it would help you like fill in there's nothing you are lacking financially. So it's like if you want college funds for your kids, it will be like, okay, start putting $100 now. So by the time the kid is 18, you don't want your kids come and be chopped because school fees is not easy.
By that time, school will be $100,000.
School will be $100,000,
bro.
You be looking at yourself. Good. That Roth IRA didn't tell me about that.
So he's more thinking about the future, and like my life now is more big picture thinking.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and now all I have to pray for is long life, because
amen to that. My own thing is that I definitely believe in that Roth IRA stuff. Like, I do it too, like your 401k and stuff like that. But the truth is that you need to make money. You know what I mean? Doing all this stuff is like the safe route, but if you want true financial freedom, you You need to bust through that door and become that billionaire.
So you have to generate income pretty much.
You have to generate. You have to generate
income.
something, man.
Yeah.
Because when you're making money like that, you don't even want to be thinking about that Roth IRA shit. That's the kind of level I want to be. I'm not even thinking about that. Like, oh, you want to go to school? You want to go to go to the best private schools in the world. Get the best education. You know what I mean? Give my kids a good life. That is personally my goal.
What would you say your biggest fear is, Peter? Like your kid not turning out?
No, that's not my biggest fear is not being successful.
Them not being successful,
me not being successful. That's my biggest fear.
That's no problem. Like if you look at it, like our parents, they didn't have that big of an education. Like if you look at the Nigerian millionaires now, the Dangotes, like he went to some school in not in Nigeria. He went to school in like Egypt, in Africa, but another school. But we still have the best of the best education. So regardless, 10 years from now, I feel like being successful wouldn't be an option. It's like it's automatic. It's like if they can get that like University of Ilorin education, if they can get that University of Lagos and still be like that, I feel like we are here getting Georgia Tech, Berkeley, WP is a
WPI. I definitely agree with what you're saying. But I'm not taking any chances. You understand what I'm trying to say? You still have to put in the work. You understand what I'm trying to say?
You have to put in the work.
I'm not going to lay down here and expect, I'm going to be a millionaire in my mid-30s.
Zero. You know? It can't happen like that.
Yeah. But I understand what you mean by automatic. Is like we're on the right track. You know, it's like a train. You're on the train, right?
Yeah.
You just keep on moving.
You just have to keep doing what you're doing. You know, if the engine of the train stops, it will not reach its destination.
And let me
tell you, the engine keeps running.
Let me tell you something. I also think there's going to be like a new black elite. Now, I wouldn't say black elite. It's kind of like a Nigerian elite, if that makes sense. Nigerian American elite. I swear to God, it's coming. In the next 10 years, you just see the you say, oh, we have our own Nigerian. This I'm telling you, it's 100% there. I can already see it.
Because it's like, if you think about it, it's like generation. The way the way we meet people, the way I just met Peter in PR, the way you met like people in PR too. That's the whole like generation of the black elites that Peter is probably talking about. Like, Chisom knows somebody, and he's like Chisom knows somebody through that. It's all it's about to be a big network. And
that's one beautiful thing I love about even just boarding school in itself, right? Because me, I was the kind of guy, I never went out with the set guy. You know, I never went to all those set parties and all these things. But where I formed the relationship was inside of school, right? If I was a day student, I don't think my bonds would have been as tight. You get what I'm saying? So like, but now it's kind of like now I know different people in doing different things, right? So now who knows in the future? We're working with, this guy I went to secondary school with, this guy that went to my university, you know, this guy that literally I'm doing the whole podcast with a guy I met from university. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so weird. But like that's just how your network grows, and then you start like,
you're welcome, by the way,
finding out that your outreach you're still the pain in my butt, but it's all right. So you start finding out that your outreach is actually getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I love where we are right now. And I love where we're going with our lives. And hey, as long as we keep in touch, we keep the work going. I'm excited to see where life takes us, man.
100%.
Yeah, but Tomiwa, I really appreciate you for coming
Thank
on
you
with
for
us,
coming on the Afro Journal podcast. All right.
Appreciate you, my brother. You know, we'll definitely keep in touch. And I don't know, where can the people find you, bro? Like, if people are trying to reach out to you
your DMs.
Let me drop my routing number, my bank Cash App, and my Zelle.
I guess
Cash
App.
Cash App.
You can find me. I like that.
Oh my God! I should have thought of that. Instagram. We'll have your art. Don't worry about it. It'll be there at all times.
We'll put your Instagram. You know, if you want LinkedIn as well, put your LinkedIn there. People are trying.
You know, money can never stop, no matter how big you get.
Exactly.
Every dollar counts, my guy.
Facts. Look at Giannis, man. Giannis was like, bro, I have to pay for that, so I can't be talking about the refs back because I don't want to pay a $20 fine, or was it $20K fine?
$20K fine.
Like, this guy's making millions, man. But okay. So I think we can do our journal entry real quick before we close this out. So Peter, What's your journal entry for
My
the
journal
week, man?
entry is just make sure you're hyper focused on your goal, not to the extent where it's negatively impacting you and your surroundings. But understand that have a clear vision. I think it's really important to have a clear vision. Obviously, if you're still finding yourself, that's really important. But when you see the lights, attack it 100% and don't fold. And don't fold.
Yep.
So that's
I
my
like
own
that.
advice.
I like that. Yeah, my journal entry for this week is, I mean, don't underestimate the value of the people that you meet in life. You know,
Facts.
like, because especially wherever you start from, because you never know. Like me and Tomiwa, our story literally started from secondary school. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know what we were doing. Like what we wanted to do is I wanted to play football. You know, wanted to chill, wanted to confess the class. That was that was it, right? And then it grows into something else, right? And like all the way now we're in America, reconnecting things like that. Like that's just the beautiful thing about your networks, right? So just remember the value of
They
the people
compound.
that you meet. It compounds, yo. That's it right there.
And be kind to people. I mean, it's not like nobody in Trinity was mean or like secondary. None of our set guys was like mean to. We're all cool with each other. But,
I mean, guys what I mean? Guys will definitely mean. But like it's like all this childish meanness, you know, like at the certain point
It's
you
like, guy, your boxers are dirty, man.
yeah, yeah,
Or
like,
you can never, you don't get girls.
guy, you're broke, fam. You know, like,
Look at your dirty shoes. Look at your shoes, bro.
gosh,
Don't talk to me. Look at your nose.
Remember music? Or you don't know this music? You don't know this song? Wow, you're a dead guy.
man, and everybody would try to act like they knew the Lil Wayne.
Oh, the Lil Wayne, Drake, J.
I can
Cole.
transform.
America is like nobody is listening to Lil Wayne like that.
Oh no, Dream Emily.
Yo,
what is it? I can transform you like a
transform you.
I can turn you
from
from a
a
human to
nigga.
a car, take you off the
Just
bed.
be those
and
I
turn you
transform.
into a starter.
yeah. The point is, I never heard those songs,
I never
but I learned them from people in school. Like I
Yo,
never listened to the song outside.
Lil Wayne, we used to cram Lil Wayne lyrics like if we were cramming for exam.
Right.
From our books, but it's like, yeah.
Bro, even the drum, did you guys used to drum like?
I never knew how to drum. But
Wow,
there are
nah, man, like,
drummers, there are drummers
I
in the set.
they need to send you back to secondary school.
I mean, he left boarding school after
Yeah,
JS
it's,
too.
How to
yeah,
do
after
that.
JS.
That's
Yeah.
I wasn't serious in school, so I had to go back home.
Oh man, but yo, guys, this has been a vibe. This has been very nostalgic as well. But yo, guys, like, share, subscribe. You know, tell everybody to come view the Afro Journal podcast because we're going all the way up. It's been your toasted caramel, you know, your vintage chocolates, the greenest flag on the Afro Journal podcast, and that's saying something. Chisom, AG, Jeremiah, Okafo.
And it's your extra luggage, your Chef Pirero, Pina Ikechiki Chibzo, Aliogo Jr.
Guy, Tomiwa, extra host, extra baggage. Signing out.
All right. Are we out?
We out, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.